Hey guys, so it is currently snowing right now. Let me not fall down this garden staircase. But I thought I'd come out here to the vegetable garden and check out our cages that we put up a few weeks ago. Don't want them to break or get flattened because of the snow on top. So I thought I'd come out here, check out the crops, and try to get the snow off of this a bit. Yeah, that's pretty heavy on top. Maybe I'll just try to dump the snow off a bit. Well, this is going to be difficult. Let me... Greens still look good though. And I'm going to set this back on here. I'm just not exactly sure how much weight this frame can hold, and I don't want to break the cages because of all the snow that's going to be sitting on top of them. We really shouldn't be getting that much more snow. I think maybe 3 inches I think we're supposed to be getting. But first snowfall of the season. I have cabbages on this cage right here. You know, this cage is pretty low compared to this one because I didn't put the bottom of the frame on this one. So I might go ahead and see if I can get a broom and just brush the snow off the top. Cages have been cleaned off. I probably will be back out here by the end of the day just to check on them, make sure it's not too much snow setting on top. Not exactly sure how much weight they can hold, but I'm pretty sure it's not much. And I don't want to damage the cages at all. They have been keeping the veggies well protected. In this cage I have kale and collard greens, and this one over here I have some cabbages. So enjoying the cages, they are keeping everything well protected. I am now going to see if the soil in my smaller raised beds, I have one here and then I have one here, I'm going to see if they're frozen or not. If they are not, then I'm probably going to attempt to plant some daffodils. I have quite a few bags of daffodils that I have yet to get planted. Probably going to tuck them in these raised beds. I do have a bunch of gardening projects that I want to get done in the winter time, and I wanted to plant some daffodils in new garden spaces, but we are, I think, supposed to have a bad winter. Last year I still worked through the winter. That's what I like to do to create new garden spaces. I typically like to clear the land and create new gardens in the wintertime That way I don't have to worry about snakes or ticks or stuff like that. We have a cut flower garden that's going to be put in this winter, hopefully, where that arbor is. And then I'm working on quite a few projects in the woodland garden, hoping the snow doesn't bring that to a halt. But now let's go ahead and see if our raised beds are frozen so we can get some daffodils in the ground. Looks like cat poo in this raised bed. That's not good. But this isn't frozen, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab my daffodils and go ahead and try to plant them in this raised bed. We'll have to check out the other one. I think I have 160. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the bulbs and we're gonna get them planted. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this dirt out of this raised bed. Not exactly sure if that was cat poo, but I really don't want that where I plant my vegetables and stuff. We do have stray cats that do walk through the garden space. Pretty sure they're strays, but I know that they do hang out in the garden here and there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take off the top layer. That's an old tomato. I do have a bag of compost too, so I'm just going to top this off with compost. These are our daffodils. I have 4 bags. I originally was going to try to plant them in the woodland garden. Originally, before I planted all of those sunrise hostas to line the pathway of the woodland garden, I wanted to line them with these daffodils. But at the time, I couldn't get my hands on this type of daffodil, so I am going to plant them in this raised bed. And in the springtime, I'm going to relocate them into different areas of the garden. So it says 40 in a bag. Some of these I can break apart. This one had 3 together. That's 2 right there. So I think it's going to be a little more than 40 in this bag. But I'm just going to get them situated in this bed. Dump some compost on top. Maybe I'll set something on top of this so I don't have to deal with the cats or squirrels, whatever it may be, to interfere with these bulbs. And it'll be easy enough to relocate these in the spring when they start coming up. I can just dig them up and plant them in whatever garden space I want them in. Not exactly sure how many I can fit in this raised bed. Maybe I should just do the 40 because some of these are breaking apart through more than one bulb, so I can probably get away with more than 40 in this raised bed. hoping the snow doesn't stay around too long. Hopefully it melts and I can get back to my winter projects. I still have quite a few clearance plants that I was able to get. Still setting around. I kind of wanted to overwinter some of those in my raised beds, but I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully I can keep them sheltered enough that they make it through the winter. A lot of those shrubs and stuff that I got, I will be planting around the cut flower garden when that goes in. I did change the design slightly, so I will be sharing that with you guys. I do want to start clearing quite a few different areas in the garden to expand it. Yeah, I think one bag for one of these small raised beds is fine, because now I'm having a problem figuring out where to stick the rest of these. So I'm just going to pack them all in here tightly and relocate them at a later date. Yep, way more than 40 in this bag. Now I'm just going to go ahead and top this off with compost. I just seen one of those cats walking through the garden, the woodland garden area, so yeah, they are still out and about, but I really don't want them trying to use the bathroom in my raised beds. So I think I'm going to save the other 2 bags, maybe try to get them in the woodland garden space. I was supposed to be planting a rhododendron and a few other plants in my next video, but figured I'd do this instead because I wanted to make sure the cages didn't have a large amount of snow on them, and I wanted to get some of these bulbs in the ground, so hopefully I can get that rhododendron in soon. A lot of these bulbs are large clusters, so I'm actually getting more than one bulb if I just break them apart. Like this one here, this is actually 3, 1, 2, 3. So this one another 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of these were getting more, so it's more than 40 if I go ahead and separate these, which is good. This one is 2. One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, a lot of these are multiples, which means each bag's probably going to have more than 40. So 1 bag per bed, that's fine. And I'm sure this will be a gorgeous display in the spring when they start to come up. Our daffodils are in. I still have 2 more bags. I'm going to save these for when I plant my rhododendron, maybe do a large drift in the woodland garden. Hopefully that happens next week. But I'm going to go ahead and take some tomato cages to our tool shed. So let's go ahead and head that way. So I'm coming back from putting tomato cages in the tool shed right there, and I notice all of this right here. Looks like a lot of fallen branches, but this is also poison ivy. So it looks like a large poison ivy vine has fallen from the trees and it's intermingled in a redbud tree right there. And I have a snow sickle oak leaf hydrangea right at the bottom of all of this stuff. So I definitely want to get that cleaned up. I know this is poison ivy because of the leaves. And this vine right here, this tree right here has a lot of poison ivy growing up it, so it creates these really large vines. And this large tree right there has been dropping branches all season long. I've been grabbing them and tossing them over there. Looks like one has fallen in that viburnum tree right there, so I need to remove that. Also, we're going to be removing all of those branches from that tree as well. And getting rid of this poison ivy, I need to be extra careful. Hopefully my oak leaf hydrangea isn't damaged under all of this. Let's go ahead and clean up all of this stuff next. I'm going to start with removing these branches first. I'm just going to toss them back into the woods. So this is my oak leaf hydrangea snow sickle. It looks like it's going to be just fine. I don't think it has too many damaged branches. Also, I do have some hellebores in this bed as well. Let me uncover them. So oak leaf hydrangea is fine. Redbud tree doesn't look like it has any broken branches. That's going to be fine as well. I went ahead and I drug the branches back further in the woods along with the poison ivy vine. Was that a good idea? Not exactly sure. I'm just hoping I don't end up with poison ivy. The vine was dead, but poison ivy, the oil does remain with the plant for some time, even though it's dead or dried. So that is a concern of mine because that was a lot of poison ivy. So hopefully I still have poison ivy leaves under this tree as well. I'm not gonna mess with any more of that. I wanna go in the house to get my hands washed up. Also, this branch right here, I kind of like it. I think I might end up using this in our woodland garden, maybe as a display with some plants around it. Maybe I'll plant the daffodils around it. Not exactly sure, but I am going to save this branch to tuck in the woodland garden. See how I like it once I get it over there. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I do thank you for joining me on this snowy winter day. Hopefully I don't end up with poison ivy. I'm going to go in the house and watch up. Thank you for joining me. See you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.